So good morning, Grasshopper. Here's a song you might want to add to your repertoire. I just learned it. I'm still learning it, so I apologize for my less than polished performance, but it was a request by someone. Last time I played Palmetto's Assisted Living, believe it or not, a gentleman at the end of the set said, "Would you please learn this song?" So I had no idea what the song was about. Apparently, now that I'm a little bit familiar with it, it is a staple of Celtic folk music, and it's a beautiful story. And so here we go. And it's easy. It's got two keys, but they're all straight chords. It starts in G and then it goes to A. The second part, the last verse is in A, but it's basically the same structure. You just move it up a step. So here we go. It's the words, though, the lyrics are just beautiful. I was 18 years old when I went down to Dublin with a fistful of money and a cartload of dreams. Take your time, Sydney, father. Stop rushing like hell. Remember, all is not what it seems to be. For there's fellas that would cut you for the coat on your back, the watch that you got from your mother. So take care, me young bucko, and mind yourself well. And will you give this wee note to me brother? Well, at the time Uncle Benji was a policeman in Brooklyn. My father, the youngest, looked after the farm. When a phone call from America said send the lad over, the old fella said sure, it wouldn't do any harm. For I spent my life working this dirty old ground for a few pints of porter and the smell of a pound. Sure, maybe there's something you'll learn or you'll see, and you can bring it back home, make it easy on me. So I landed at Kennedy, and a big yellow taxi carried me and my bags through the streets in the rain. Well, my poor heart was thumping around with excitement. I hardly even heard what the driver was saying. We came in the Shore Parkway to the flatlands of Brooklyn, my uncle's apartment on East 53rd. I was feeling so happy, I was humming a song, and I sang, "You're as free as a bird." Well, to shorten the story, what I found out that day was Benji got shot in an uptown parade. And while I was flying on my way to New York, poor Benji was lying in the cold city morgue. Well, I phoned up the old fella and told him the news. I could tell he could hardly stand up in his shoes. And he wept as he told me, go ahead with the plan, and not to forget, be a proud Irishman. Beside Fordham Road, started to learn about lifting the load. But the heaviest thing that I carried that year was the bittersweet thoughts of my home so dear. I went home that December 'cause the old fella died. to borrow the money from Phil on the side. And all the bright flowers and grass couldn't hide the poor wasted face of my father. Well, I sold the old farmyard for what it was worth. Into my bag stuck a handful of earth. And I boarded a train and I caught me a plane, and I found myself back in the U.S. again. It's been 22 years since I set foot in Dublin. The kids know to use the correct knife and fork, but I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. Well, I sold off the old farm for what it was worth. Into my bag stuck a handful of earth. When I boarded a train and I caught me a plane, I found myself back in the U.S. 22 years since I set foot in Dublin. The kids know to use the correct knife and fork, but I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. But I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. There you go, kiddo.